So Irene has been playing Irene was a pro gamer in Season 2 in Korea. So he played in like OGN and back then, and I was Zion Spartan in like Season 2, Season 3, so even Season 4. So he knew Zion Spartan, but when he was joining the coaching staff, he's like, oh, Darshan, like, yeah, that's cool, that's whatever. And then we were just talking one time, and I was like looking at my old VODs, and the name was Zion Spartan, and he's just like, oh, you're Zion Spartan, and I'm like, yeah, I was. That was me. You know, no big deal. And he definitely, you know, his perception shifted me a little bit because he was like, dang, you were a beast back in the day. And I'm like, wait, I still am, Irene. He's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Wait, I still am, freak!
Yeah, of course, Kobe, you're still very bad at landing smites and Darshan.
I won with CLG too!
You did. Way back when, before anyone ever had recorded history. Thank you for joining us. It's time for Game 5 of Clutch Gaming versus Counter Logic Gaming. It's also round 2 of Hide and Seek with Kobe and Freak, and I have already lost, so we're moving on into Game 3 later on. Let's take a look at starting lineups. On the blue side, selecting blue side is Clutch Gaming. Their top laner is Huni, Lyra in the jungle, Demonte in mid, Piglet in the bot lane with support Vulcan, and their coach Mixcrag.
And on the red side, it is Counter Logic Gaming. In the top lane, it is Darshan, formerly known as Zion Spartan. In the jungle, it's Wiggly, mid PowerOfEvil, bottom Stixay, support Biofrost and Coach Weldon on stage, as well as Irene.
Yep. Kobe, do you think his teacher still calls him Zion Spartan, or is
No.
he or she updated with the time?
I don't think his teacher has called him in the years that he has been out of school.
What if his teacher was actually a history teacher and that dude's like on stage? Like, what if that was the actual
Well,
mascot?
I know for a fact history teacher calls him Darshan. So I know the answer would be no.
Well, damn. Last week, the CLG upswing hit a bit of a bump when their comfort picks were targeted in drafts and they came up a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Darshan, and Darshan, their wins have come when he is on Sion and Urgot, but they tried to pick Ornn after those options were eliminated, and the team couldn't do anything on the other side of the map while he was left in a bad matchup, so they kind of lost both sides of the map at the same time. Definitely was pretty rough for them. Another thing that went against them in the draft phase, Biofrost didn't get that Tom Kench, which he has used in their previous wins as well. A lot of it for saving Stixay and the map mobility later in the game.
Yep.
And he's been really good at utilizing that one. He's also the shot caller for the team now. Trying to direct people really does help. And we'll see what they can do today to try and switch up that draft and differentiate it from last week where it had become predictable and people were starting to prey on it.
Yeah, we're on 9.3 now. Sion is also a bit weaker, so even if they get comfort, it might not be as good. A lot of those top picks might not be quite as good. Also, I want to bring up again the hot fix that disables spell thieves from being good in solo lanes is in here, so Huni's Zillion top is not going to be nearly as viable. I don't expect to see that, but we are in a champ select. We'll see what they'll play.
Yeah, I mean, Huni solo kill also had a bunch of Frost...
yeah, those Frostbite games.
Frostomancy or whatever.
And it's not viable anymore.
Yeah.
So I appreciate him putting the effort, but yeah, it went away. That was a bit degenerate. There are ways to play Frostbang bottom lane and you let your support take farm until you turn it over. I think it's actually pretty cool, but either way, we'll see what happens here. Counter Logic Gaming and Clutch are in a champion select. No Cassiopeia, no Lucian, no Ezreal.
Ezreal first banned. We're not going to see the bottom lane Frostbang, I doubt, unless we have a mage down there that's going to try and do it. Nobody else really gets as much use out of that strategy. Following up with a Sylas ban, Clutch Gaming do not want any part of the ultimate stealing. So whenever you see something like that, which is, you know, not really a super power pick altogether, I'm thinking, are they trying to run some like Zillion, you know, some ult intensive champion kits? Because that is a big denial right there. If you don't want to play it yourself because you're not sure what the other team's going to use, but you also don't want to block yourself.
Jace is also a bit of a slightly quizzical ban. He's certainly around. There's been one Jace game from Huni so far, but you don't expect to see that so early in the ban list. You expect maybe in phase 2 when you start seeing more of the picks down, but interesting to see that there. We'll see what that actually means for them. As Alistair's picked up, the Tom Kench that Biofrost 3-0 on is available if he wants that. And Stixay can play something really insane backline like a Jinx or something, but they're going to play Nerf Sion. Darshan going to be back on that champion.
There you go. Premier tank even after the nerfs. So again, the nerfs were a little bit of damage nerfs to his Q, cooldown reduction for his W, so it's a little bit longer to activate the W nowadays. Basically, just his laning phase is a bit worse, still gets extremely tanky, and that's what CLG want. They want that ultimate from Sion, and they want Darshan to be Very, very tanky front line.
Nigh unkillable. One more pick, and Wiggly is going to grab that undefeated Tahm Kench for Biofrost. So
The 2 picks, Freak, that we've focused on, they nabbed him back up.
to be fair, to Devil's Advocate for Clutch's draft here, Ezreal ban does make sense against Stixxay. Urgot ban is the other champion Darshan has won on. And if you think, hey, Sion's nerfed enough that Huni can abuse it, then they say, hey, let's bait you into it. We'll kind of pick you here in this first phase of the draft. Maybe that will happen, but I agree. They are very obvious, strong champion in CLG. That Clutch just let happen.
Sivir gonna be the first marksman picked up here in this game with the 2 premier ones kind of eliminated. Now, I think you're a fan of the Essence Reaver first, right? Or are you one of the Infinity Edge pros?
I don't feel really strongly either way. I think you want to have both items. I would actually build them 1-2. I would skip Azeel until 3rd, but I think it's fairly close between them. Certainly the extra damage is nice, but infinite CDR or extra CDR gives you more DPS through W.
Also, I actually really do like the mana return on Sivir, spamming out every wave, spamming out Boomerang Blade, and then it just feels so good.
And Ricochet, you get to infinite clear forever. So I think that's actually pretty viable, but I think it's close regardless, and I think you should buy them 1-2 anyway. Either way, Rumble comes through. We know Rumble is flexible.
Huni!
Also, Huni likely to play at top lane. Hey, we've seen Huni play at mid lane as well. Don't get that one wrong. So that one can move around. And Jinx is the exact champion I wanted to see with a Tahm Kench. So there we go. Stixxay has a late game, hard scaling marksman in the bot lane.
Yeah, who's definitely going Infinity Edge first.
Oh, yeah. No, that's happening.
This is a very, very standard setup. You want the beefiest frontliner in the game, Sion. They got the premier tank. Now they've got a team fight carry here in Jinx. You can get Infinity Edge. I still do like the Runon's style secondary for her, and that's usually enough to get a reset and destroy the rest of the team fight.
Yeah, I would definitely I would actually try to have Shiv and Hurricane both in the build. Shiv got buffed in the item update and is insanely efficient and very, very high damage. Hurricane, of course, natural synergy with the crit rockets. Obviously, both are great choices, and I think they're close, but both very, very good. Ivern banned away. If CLG's putting their eggs in the Stixxay basket, Ivern jungle is one of those champions. You might see Lulu mid get banned away next. Keep up for it.
Very well could be the case. I mean, there's a possibility of PowerOfEvil playing a supporty style mid laner and them playing mainly around Jinx hyper carry. To me, against a Rumble, I feel that that is a little bit more difficult, because even if your Tahm Kench eats up the Jinx, that removes your team's damage basically for that duration, and it's not like a absolutely get out of jail free card. I really do like what Clutch are putting together as well, even though CLG's is focused on super standard DPS behind front line plus some supports. The speed plus the AoE damage that Clutch are putting together could be very powerful for the early game.
All right, what if Volibear's jungling right here?
Then
what would you do?
Will play hide and seek with you.
Okay. Do it, Stixxay. Pick me a Volibear. It's Jarvan. Okay, that's fine too. Jarvan's cool.
That's how sure I am.
Massive attack speed on that E, of course, is actually every single champion has some kind of direct synergy alongside this Jinx. CLG really are aware that Stixxay has been their primary carry. Of course, there's still a pick for PoE out there ready to go in the mid lane, and we'll see what that secondary carry might be as Corki comes through in the mid lane.
Yeah, instant Corki lock in here. By the way, a lot of people super happy to get back on the Corki train with the options of crit builds coming through again. Corki, though, does have a little bit of an issue with some assassins. He's rifling through a few options here. We did see a Zed earlier in Europe in LEC.
And it won.
It was so
Kassadin. So Kassadin's most recent nerf
is armor nerf. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're nerfs on armor, which Corki can't deal. He's actually the worst champion to try to hurt Kassadin with, because even his auto attacks get blocked by the passive. So Corki is definitely weak into this matchup. PoE can definitely survive the one-on-one. This is exciting. You have a Harrier to make some extra space so that Stixxay can just free hit from the back line. I see what Shield is trying to do. We'll see if it happens, because no one plays this kind of comp. But the upside intrigues me and excites me.
Yeah, okay. My mind is open here to the possibilities. If I was at least in, I would for sure come kill PowerOfEvil early in this game, because as an AD jungler, whenever I see a Kassadin, it's so easy now. Honestly, that's some of the few solo laners where I'm like, yes, I can solo kill him.
Yeah. You can get level 16, I'll still fight you with my warrior, and you'll probably die. This will be exciting though. Coach is shaking hands. And this is fun. Clutch Gaming and Counter Logic Gaming, both just half a game behind FlyQuest in third. Both these teams who really got sort of shaken up in the offseason. Keep in mind, CLG missed playoffs for the first time in org history. Switched around a couple of players, brought in their Academy jungler, brought in PowerOfEvil, and now they are poised to be tied for third with a win right here. Clutch Gaming lost most of their roster, brought up their own Academy bottom lane, and after a very disappointing summer split where they missed playoffs, are poised to have a winning record themselves.
All right, this one definitely means a lot for the middle of the standings here. Who's going to differentiate themselves from the pack? That's the back.
It's us!
Of our heads.
Hello, camera. Hello, stage. Let's get ourselves in the game. Clutch Gaming versus Counter Logic Gaming, game 5 of the day.
All right, let's see. Pretty standard openings from everybody. Now, if you are looking to put out some early pressure on the mid lane, which I think that Lyra should do, I mean, it's basically bottom triangle of the map. Usually as a jungler, you look at both compositions early on in the game and you kind of decide on which side you're going to favor heavily. This one, I think, for Lyra, he actually has a lot of options, you know, because you're talking about the Rumble. Huni likes to play aggressively. We also know that Huni is very susceptible to ganks, or at least has been for the last year.
Yep.
So that's drawing you to the top side. But then again, CLG's win conditions are on the bottom triangle of the map. Plus, you want to kill this Kassadin before he's level 6, and it is very easy to do that as a Lee Sin. Super mobile, does a lot of damage to him. So I'm very curious to see Lyra's thought process as he goes through this game. This is one of those ones where you have so many options. Piglet, though.
The minigun is on, and he's out damaging Piglet. And keep in mind that marksmen now have very, very low health regen. And so Piglet, this damage is going to stick on him. He's not even got fleet footwork, so it will take some time to get the health back up. Not that I think Jinx Tom can get much of a kill lane.
Whoa, these whips also.
Man.
Piglet is getting demolished in health and mana here in this lane. Whipped both of the early boomerang blades. Balfrost's going to trade as well.
All right, right now they got to play for the minion line right here, but it looks like CLG certainly has dibs on which ones die first. This feels pretty good.
Double value on rockets too. He exploded on both.
Oh my gosh, that's much damage the Sivir Q dealt, but look at this. Lee Sin's already coming over. Level 2 Lee Sin is ready to fight, so here comes the trade. The flash pulverize, and there's no way out for Stixay. That's how Lyra plays the early game. He gets first blood at 2 minutes.
I feel like CLG's bottom lane was as hyped as we were about the trade. So
yeah.
Oh, the double rocket! Boom! We're just crushing these guys. And then Lyra, we talked about his options freak.
In this example, I'm clutch saying, well, they're overextended. Here's look, Lee Sin in the tri-brush. And oof, no trinket ward came down for CLGs. They didn't see it coming.
Neither did. Never mind. Vulcan gonna go in here on Wiggly. He'll see him. Never mind.
He's so low, he actually can't really fight this. It's like,
I mean, he doesn't have smite, so that's why Wiggly hesitated there. He just drew it back over to his bottom lane, but he's like, all right, now I can safely finish this, even though you've seen me clear out the Gromp, nothing you do about it. Here's another look at Lyra coming through, straight through the tri-bush. Piglet, he did it all along. He was baiting. Let Stixay get very good trades on him, but Vulcan goes in, flash with Alistar, easily secures this one. Now, the only thing to consider is that bottom lane burned 3 summoners on the side of Clutch Gaming. CLG recognized that they were dead in this situation. They did not use any of their own summoners. So there's a possibility of recourse here for the bottom lane for CLG if they decide to have Wiggly finish up his Krugs and then head to the bottom side to punish those lack of summoner spells.
Decent damage on the PowerOfEvil, now getting chunked down to about half HP. Still has the teleport if he needs it to get back in later on. Down 4 CS as the first couple of waves come through. Looks like we're on wave number 5 right now, and it means almost perfect farm out of Demonte. PoE able to tank the Q with his own, and still trying to hold on. One thing I do really love PoE for is his more eclectic champion pool. I feel like he plays a lot of things that other people don't. Doesn't always work, I understand, but I really do love that he tries. I think a lot of these are very good. I'm of the opinion that I think there's always undiscovered champs in pro play, and so anyone who brings one out sort of for the first time, like, hey, good, I like this.
I think most people would agree they like variety. So your point on at least he tries or whatever.
Yeah. At least he tries sounds very negative, and I don't really mean it to sound so bad. I think PoE is an excellent player.
I mean, the Xerath one I thought really could have worked. I really do think Xerath still can work, but that's one of the ones that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the champs nobody else had tried to play. It has very clear weaknesses, and they picked it into a comp that could exploit those very clear weaknesses.
Yep. Speaking of exploiting weaknesses, big damage out from Huni here, chunking out Darshan pretty heavily. Looks like it's going to be a fairly early teleport back at 4.5 minutes. And of course, keep in mind, Darshan is on Scion, so a level 4 teleport and gets chunked down, gets level 6. Ults back to lane. He'll have pretty good uptime on the farm, but yeah, there's him pushing towards the adaptive helm. That's what that rejuve beat will come into eventually.
Yeah. The Scion early game consists of trying to grab as many early CS as you can, saving your teleport as long as you can, and then using it first so you get back and not miss any experience, just because you want to hit your level 6.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit that, then you get another ticket back to your lane.
Exactly.
And you can take
exactly the point.
the choo-choo train.
It's a round trip train ticket, I guess. You can kind of, or maybe it's a day pass. That's probably the better one. Just keep going.
Looks like Lyra's got a day pass bottom lane. Gonna head for another pass.
And the control ward. Nope, they're gonna fight it over. All
Again,
right.
I think the 3v3 with the double summoners here advantage could easily go CLG's way. Wiggly wants to finish up the Scuttle Crab first, though.
It's that one. Q's gonna land. Pretty decent damage here. Now Wiggly's gotta be careful what's going on in this one. Flag and drag over. Even triggers electrocute. Out he goes.
Yep. What you want to do on Jarvan when you're in a 1v1 like that, position yourself slightly inside the enemy model. So when you're flagging away, you're not just running away. You also get the knock up there on your way out, so there's no possibility of any chase.
In your Q damage, just in case that they're gonna flash anyway. So decent stuff here, but we have a game with a 900 gold lead to clutch early on. Top lane and bot lane, the obvious locations of this. Mid down 20 CS as well, so CLG have to rectify the fact that they've got a lot of losing lanes. This is definitely a criticism I've seen of them online as well, is drafting too much for late game and giving up too much.
And Lyra gonna go right into the dragon over the Scuttle Crab because they're punishing mid lane so heavily. And bottom lane pushed in. You can see the Jinx not moving because of the minions. Oh, he's giving up some minions. They're gonna come for it.
They're gonna try. Early Ocean Drake, 600 health. Here comes the headbutt pull. Briar's gonna take away their own jungler. No chance to take it. Here comes the equalizer. A quick kill picked up, though it's not a lot of a burn. CLG able to walk away, and Huni, that TP sucked.
No, it didn't. He sacrificed himself for the dragon, freak.
I thought they were gonna get it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Kobe. I tried to fill in your shoes, and they were too big.
Everybody's trying to do that call nowadays.
I know.
Meanwhile, Lyra is gonna get right back into the jungle, pick up his red buff, and I guess PowerOfEvil can farm at least in the mid lane while everybody's recalling. Here we go, though. Here's another look. So the teleport is definitely to secure them because Wiggly's going in for at least the steal. I mean, you could say, hey, Vulcan will try and headbutt him out or whatever, but Battle Crush is also there. Regardless, it was fully...
Watching it again, I maintain that TP sucked. I'm sorry, Kobe. I disagree.
All right. We can agree to disagree.
That's fine. Let us know online, at LOL Esports on Twitter. Did that TP suck, yes or no? Anyone who's watching, put up the poll, maybe.
Team play, not his fault.
We'll let the Reddit analysts decide. They're all Halo, Silver 4 or higher.
Meanwhile, Huni gonna push in again. I was asking for the stats there. 11-4 is his all-time LCS record. Also has an amazing KDA. He's always known for this champion, especially in scrims. People always talk about how he dominates it and kind of warps the scrim info that you're gonna get back from Huni Rumble games.
Definitely a very good player all time. Has been a bit weaker so far this year, I would say, but certainly can turn it on right now. Clutch gaming it for.
Ever since kind of the tail end of last year, Rift Rivals.
Yeah, from Rift Rivals onwards, pretty much.
Maybe.
From July. I feel like it's been very much downward for Huni. I know he can turn it on. I know he can certainly turn it around. He's a great player. And right now he's winning a match he's supposed to win, and debatably helped his team get an Ocean Drake with a teleport. Either way, though, we'll wait to see what happens out as we get through to the mid-game. Clutch still have that Ocean Drake, still a bit of gold. They've got insane regen here. CLG just farming away in this bottom side. That Warhammer means it's certainly Piglet going towards Essence Reaver first.
Yeah, I mean, now that he got the Ocean Drake, I mean, it was already after he committed a little bit to the build, I think.
Yeah.
I believe he already had. Bart. But after you get an Ocean Drake, then I would for sure go the Infinity Edge route if you hadn't pre-purchased.
Right, because you don't need that mana anymore. So it's
and that's one of the really big parts of it.
Yeah. It's actually insane mana regen. Either way, though, fairly much, or pretty much into a holding pattern now, but Clutch Gaming want to break that as they head down to the bot side. Lyra, with his Warrior Enchant done.
Oh, this is it.
This could be very scary for CLG, trying to keep the wave off the turret so they don't get dived so easily. And you can see how much time that buys. They were able to get forwards. Vulcan was not level 6, so he couldn't just pop the ult and walk in.
Huge breakpoint right there. Being able to clear out that minion wave saves them so heavily. PowerOfEvil shoves another wave, and look at the CS on this Kassadin.
And now he's 6.
Catching right back up, stacking up his tier as well. Super happy about that one.
Wow, Pew actually gets a plate out of the mid lane. That's shocking, to be honest, considering the matchup, but...
Well, Damonte keeps on roaming around
sure.
for the team. He roamed for the Dragon, he roamed for this, roamed for the multiple fights, and that is allowing Kassadin to get past the weakest point in the game for him.
Scaling up now is Damonte. Does have that package, but just pushing PoE away. Here comes that day pass, and woof, down go the minions.
Meanwhile, package ready to be delivered. Or used in escape, as it probably will be, since Wiggly just hovering around mid lane here. Huni took a roam as well, just looking for an opportunity around mid, but post 6, if Kassadin doesn't go all in on you, if they're not trying to, create a play with Jarvan, then there's not going to be any effectiveness of a Rumble time.
They're just chunking down these little pieces of the map. Trying to get the farm. Flame Jumpers help knock down the casters, just in case. And out they go. Still a very tight game gold-wise, and Damonte trying to pressure PoE out, but at this point it feels like Kassadin's able to farm. As you mentioned, getting past the weakest early point, no deaths pre-6. Even got that kill on Huni's teleport.
And the later this game goes, I think the better it gets for CLG. Clutch Gaming's composition, even when they group up later in the game, are very fragile. They're going to have to use the speed boost from Sivir so effectively, and basically everybody playing off of Alistar as the point man to protect all those squishy members. So it's going to be difficult since PowerOfEvil on the Kassadin can jump in. Jarvan can also create room. And you have to constantly worry about Scion ultimate and Abyssal Voyage coming from the Tahm Kench, finding these angles on a lot of these squishier members.
Keep your squishies safe then, because damage
keep your
certainly abounds.
Squishies safe.
Yeah, I speak as a bot lane player. Please, everyone, keep your squishies safe. I would like to not die. So stop feeding Riven.
Sounds like a good motto, actually.
Yeah, stop feeding Riven is like just rule number 3 of League of Legends. Is don't chase Singed, don't chase Singed, and then stop feeding Riven is number 3.
A stop assumes that you've already started.
Yes.
Maybe that might be a bad...
Have you played against Riven? That first kill happens no matter what.
Well, Viper won last game on Riven in LCS, so he's proved. It
Viable champion.
Pro play.
Nerf's coming in 2 weeks. I'll talk to Jat.
Hey, they're going mid lane. Huni's making his pass, and that's the Rumble versus Kassadin that we know and love. Rift walks out, able to block a lot of the damage with the shield as well. But what they really care about is the Drake control. Number 2 up here, and number 2 gonna go down. Oh, we have a roam though.
Darshan's not yet burning TP. They're gonna hope they can pull the team off this Drake right here, but Clutch Gaming is still putting the attacks down, and this Scion is nowhere to be seen just yet. The jungler far away as well. Look at the timing. That's going to be picked up right there by Lyra, but now here comes the engage. And knock him into Alistar, and Scion is coming out as well. He's going to find Vulcan, ults, and then just jumps over the wall anyway. So it's going to be Viper jumping forward, Wiggly in as well. And look at the ulti across the top. Huge burn damage, a 4-man knockup. Here comes the shots. It is 2 kills for Counter Logic Gaming.
CLG takes so much gold out of the middle of that Dragon Pit. Huni was laying his Rumble ultimate down, assuming they would try and leave the Dragon Pits. So the trail out, all of CLG then opts to run into the Dragon Pit, take the fight with the AoE, and that is some very dangerous gold to give over. 2 kills to Kassadin here in this fight. Jinx Rocket comes through, doesn't get the steal, but then as Wiggly trades with Vulcan, that is a very low health Alistar. He has to flash and ult out. It's basically 4v5 now, so Wiggly takes point, jumps in, groups them all up, and once they see the exit path is now burning, boom! Scion goes in, Jarvan gets the massive knockup as well. That opens it up for Kassadin to Riftwalk offensively, and he had already stacked it up, so that was a huge huge burst of AoE damage. Really nice combinations there from those three members of CLG.
Absolutely. And overall at CLG, kind of ahead now in the early game. The Drake's certainly something that you can consider as quite relevant for Clutch here, but more plates, more gold, more kills. CLG looking pretty solid for what, again, I feel like is a fairly greedy draft. They are ahead in gold at 15 minutes.
Definitely working out for them now. All right, PowerOfEvil really finding his footing now. Able to complete his Seraphs first. Should come along pretty quickly with the transformation as well. I wonder what he's going to go next. Because I'm not a fan at all of the Seraphs plus Rod of Ages style. I think it's too defensive, takes way too long to come on. And you can go much more offensive with it. I much prefer things like the Zonias a lot earlier, so you can start team fighting, use that timing window rather than the kind of bit of health and mana that you're gonna get.
Sure.
The second scaling item there, so hopefully we'll see him push up the timing on this game and go for a more offensive playmaking item like that. But you can't really blame them if they decide to go super late as well. We already talked about their late game options.
Yeah, could be an option. We'll see if CLG wants to play more slowly. And speaking of item options, Stixley is not going Hurricane early. He's got the Kirchai's Shard, so I hope it's Shiv. I think it's much stronger than Rapid Fire now. It's not more popular just yet, but I think it's stronger. And it's a lot of upfront burst for the Jinx if she can get those shots off. But we'll wait to see what happens. Either way, another fight in the bottom lane. Look at Piglet, good flash, gets him away from this one. And a quick shot for BioFrost. It's a better sort of trade of cooldowns in CLG's favor.
Yeah, so much mobility here with Jarvan EQ in, then ult, then Devour out of the ult. And it's a very quick movement. Doesn't cost them much health at all, but they got a summoner out of Piglet. And that is a very important one. No flash on the Sivir makes her a much easier target.
Things get cleared up, and Monte's going to grab a quick Scuttlecraft.
Or is he?
With the help of Lear, Lear gets the gold. It's more XP on him. Flat 50 extra for killing a large monster, so it's optimal to give it to Lee as he kills things off. Trinity Force done, so Demonte's power spike. Full Leandry's in there for Huni with one flat pen item is pretty solid for the mid game as well. Nothing yet to fight for a minute and a half though. So we will wait to see what comes in next as the Infinity Edge is done and Stixie will build towards the Zeal.
Yeah. Another thing with the Rumble, we mentioned how there's not that much control in the fight here for Clutch. The only thing he really has to ult with are the actual walls of the map or the Alistar WQ combo. Other than that, it's really hard to keep the members of CLG on that red carpet and get the full value out of the burn. Regardless, the Rift Herald is activated and used for the turret cash in here mid, which does get them a little bit of an opening in the map and the first turret that does go down.
650 for knocking down a first turret there is pretty solid. It brings the gold back to basically equal here. And Clutch, of course, still have a fighting chance at their 2-4 record and improving it by the end of the week. They can certainly go equal. Carnologic Gaming went 1-1 last time around off of a very slow start and can certainly pick up a couple of wins here. They've got Clutch today and Golden Guardians tomorrow, and CLG could be poised to have a very solid record coming at the end of week 4.
All right, bottom lane focus going to continue here. CLG called down Wiggly again. More clearing of wards. They know Piglet without flash has to play so respectfully, and they want this Jinx, their later game, to be secure. Stixie already with the Infinity Edge, looking for the first Zeal item. As you said, if it's a static Shiv, that's a huge burst to the 5-on-5, which is how they want to play the late game.
Just depends if he feels afraid of the team fights, needs that extra range. Look at the damage to Demonte. It's Pee-wee going for Lichbane second and gets a big chunk down with the Sheen itself. Cloud Drake picked up. CLG clearly out of control. Now Sion wants in, gonna find the knockout on Huni, who flashes the wall, but guess what? Pee-wee does that every 2 seconds. Oh! And it's a double kill for the Kassadin.
Didn't expect him to go for the second kill there, but again, with the Rift Walk stacked up, the burst damage is there. PowerOfEvil is now a 4-kill Kassadin, and he is well past that dangerous early game. He's going not for the playmaking Zonias, but an even more offensive-oriented purchase freak. The Lichbane gonna come in so quickly now for PowerOfEvil that we will get some more of these exciting burst plays.
It's gonna be an exciting one all around as Piglet only gets a red buff and has to sit back and lick his wounds with the team. The game overall still only 1,000 gold difference. Certainly gold on some good people for CLG. We can watch that fight again.
All right, so Huni has flash here. He gets hit by the smash, then into the ultimate. PowerOfEvil's on him already. He gets punished for his late flash. Damonte doesn't see this coming either. Oh, actually, yeah, that was a Rift Walk
flash from WE kill.
From PowerOfEvil. So no response from flash from Damonte either, and he goes down.
Yeah, already 40 CDR. Max cooling reduction on PowerOfEvil right now. 30 from items. And that blue buff, of course, adding the last 10, so he's going to feel good about this.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want to finish up his Lich Bane here really quickly, so I expect CLG to calm down for the next couple of minutes while he farms that up. But once that is complete, and once Jinx has either the Static Shiv or the Rapid Fire coming in, that's the time to fight. And it's going to be up to
Clutch! Hard engage on a 2, but there's no one in range for the damage, so Upchuck times out, and now they can re-engage on a Vulcan. Equalize from the top, Mystics got to be careful. Chompers come in, but he's at half HP. They got to watch out for what the re-engage might look like as Piglet runs forward, and they force PoE over the wall. Oh, Darshan fails the Scion Speedway, hits the wall.
Yeah, that was a really big entrance from Huni, honestly. He saves the rest of the team from the follow-up from CLG, and chunks out Stixxay at the same time, so he puts a stop to what could have been a really big snowball in this game.
Yep.
That teleport does save the team.
That was a good teleport. That one I agree with you. Oh, look at the kick flash. That was phenomenal. Lyra puts him in the ground. Jinx is dead.
This is the opening. Clutch Gaming want to take this before those key items we're talking about come in for CLG. Really good movement here from Lyra to get behind Stixxay. Finds the kickback. Can they do much with this? It looks like just Baron Vision, though.
Yeah, Baron Vision's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you're right. Not maybe what you were hoping for. Maybe a little bit more, but
Power?
They can try to push. Cassidy heading over the way to the top side, who does have max CDR. Cooldown boots were added. Lich Bane now done as well. A lot of damage here. If they want to stay, it'll drop.
Yeah, all right. They got a tower out of it, so that's a decent amount of gold back in their pockets. Pretty much ties it right back up.
Yeah. 100 gold separates, and a couple of different drakes across these teams as we wait for the second item spikes to come through. Rapid Fire Cannon is done for Piglet. A bit more of a defensive build here on this Sivir. Make sure you can get those attacks off at all. And we'll still wait to see what comes through for Stixxay. Rapid Fire is still the common one for Pro. It's what I expect to see, but I think Shiv is very, very good. Either way, easy wave clear for Piglet, and we'll wait as it's a minute and a half to the second Cloud Drake to spawn. Darshan actually able to keep Huni kind of at bay a little bit. Good damage to the turret, but now he's got to respect the fact that his wave is gone.
Yeah, Huni does so much % health damage too. Burns him right up, right through the W shield. So Darshan definitely has to respect it. At the moment, he does at least have...
Oh, you could maybe try to ult for this one, but Darshan has ult to get away, so he knows he wouldn't die. Hope you can bring Vulcan and co over. And they're going to try Darshan playing pretty far back, but Huni, yeah, really cheating out to make sure he can't get a safe recall off. That will get a bit more turret damage out of Monte. He's going to get some damage in PoE, but he's ready for it.
Yeah.
Force the package out.
He 100% knows PoE is coming for that burst damage. 2 items, 4 kills on the Kassadin. PoE feeling juiced at the moment, and Damonte ready for it. So he gets a little bit of trade there. It was honestly close to 50-50 on health, though. So.
Yeah. Looks like PoE's having a better time at this side lane here. Fleet Footwork does give some sustain to Damonte, but you assume PoE is definitely getting his points into his spell vamp. And able to keep his health just fine as the control ward goes down, and CLG trading an outside turret that Clutch got in the bottom side. Waiting for the next move as it's 3 CS separating the top laners.
All right, what are Clutch going to choose here? Because they see all of this scaling coming from the CLG side. They know that right now, Clutch Gaming do have, the Alistar initiation. They have the possibility of a lot of damage coming through with the Rumble ultimates. Dragon gets burned down really quickly, though. King Lear still
in range. He's got no flash, but he's got a smite. Does not get in time. That's going to be a pickup there. Double Cloud Drake for CLG, and they can walk away pronto. Biofrost actually brings the wave clear back to the mid lane. I like that play. Keeps their turret safe.
Yeah, this Tom Kench has been so big for Counterlogic Gaming in all of their victories, covering so much of this bridge from early to mid game here. Now they're... Oh, are they chasing him down? Darshan's going to let him walk away.
For openings, and there's not really one. Those are nice chompers, though. They'll buy some time. No one wants to walk through those.
That might even buy a whole turret.
Oh, they found a knock up on a Huni. Tries to get away, finds a blast plan out. They're alive for now. A headbutt there, but that was Vulcan getting out. He's got a flash. He can jump the wall when he needs to. So far doesn't have to just yet, but now he does. Health bar's low. Here's the follow-up. 2 quick kills for CLG. 1 traded back, but it's now a third for the red team. And it's Clutch Gaming completely routed. Counter Logic Gaming in control. PoE finds his third. It's 4-1.
Power of Kassadin strikes again. He has scaled so easily here. He's almost level 16, Freak. Baron will be Counter Logic Gaming's. And this one isn't even going to be that long of a game. 24.5 minutes in. CLG have taken control.
They have completely taken over this map. They've got the move speed. This Baron is going to be there. So they wait 4 seconds. They can have Wiggly get the buff as well. And it's going to be taking that long regardless. Picked up, no contest. CLG sizably ahead.
All right, let's take a look at this one again. You're talking about they cut off all angles for them to try and come defend the tower, but Darshan just sees the opening right onto Huni, and he absolutely scatters the entire team. That allows Stixxay on the Jinx to rip through most of CG. PowerOfEvil gets to jump in on Kassadin, get 3 of the kills in quick succession here because Piglet pokes his head back out.
Fights for reward.
Yeah, I mean, another flash play from PowerOfEvil, but that's how you're supposed to use it on Kassadin.
Yep, if you flash during the cast time of R, you'll relocate the ending location, and you can get that burst from, basically from Fog. You actually can't react to it.
And both times that he's done it, he has done it on charged up R procs, so it's a huge amount of damage. A lot of times people don't realize that that is where a lot of the burst damage in his kit comes from. Yes, it makes it cost more mana, but that's because it kills people, Freak.
It does kill people. Kassadin is scary, especially when you're 7-0 and have these kinds of items. Zonia's gets added in, so now he's actually overcapped on CDR. Got 50% in the build, no Transcendence on an NAP, but who cares? He's doing what he wants, he's massive. And now Vulcan wants to look for something. Not quick to land the Q, but a headbutt gets signed over the wall. Equalizer is decent damage, but PowerOfEvil puts on the shield and walks right out.
And that is the exact play that we're talking about, where the only thing where Clutch Gaming can actually keep people on an Equalizer would be a WQ combo. But one of them goes over the wall there, and they don't even get to keep it on. So now Rumble with no ultimate, and Clutch Gaming with very few answers for the siege.
Looking at this mid lane inhibitor turret, rapid fire cannon for Stixxay means he can hit these turrets from range when he needs to. Chunk, chunk, chunk more. This base is going away. Baron buff still on for a minute and a half. 3,000 gold on the power play. That's after the team fight. That doesn't count those 4 kills they got coming into it. They are taking a lot of this one so far. Couple more shots. Down goes the turret. CLG now looking at an inhibitor and a 3rd place spot in the LCS. Stixxay completely safe. Valorfrost right behind him. Who's going to stop this Jinx? And it's not going to be a Clutch Gaming member. Not just yet anyway.
So it's one of his teammates that says, hey, Stixxay, stop.
Biofrost has the ability to kill off Stixxay.
Yes, you're right.
He definitely does. He won't do it. He's a better player than that. But if it's a normal, you never know.
All right, PowerOfEvil actually using some rift walks here. You have to be very careful. He's actually going topside. With the Baron buff, they can finish it off, honestly. They just keep 4 people down bottom to hold some minions here, and PowerOfEvil will take down that turret. Let's scroll up there. I want to see the Lichbane Kassadin late game. Where's the Lichbane proc? Oh, we missed it. But regardless, destroys the tower.
All right, well, his W does 400 damage. His Lichbane does 278. His auto attack's basically 100 in its own right, so it's one.
Oh, Clutch Gaming going for the 4v5.
This is the make or break play for Clutch. Ult comes across, good slow to Stixxay, but just chomped right back up, and the team kites out while Kassadin pushed to the top lane. These health bars not low enough to matter. Inhibitor turret's dead. The inhibitor gonna follow as well. Plenty of damage comes out there. Darshan can choose to reset, doesn't just yet though, waits around. 2 inhibitors down.
I appreciate that, by the way. Observer trying to go look at the Kassadin just because we're curious.
Yeah.
He really indulges us.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Just make sure you indulge the right casters who have the right calls. Darshan down to half HP, ults away. Stops short as PoE keeps pushing in the base, keeps doing more damage, and CLG splitting them apart. 2 giant carries, the Kassadin and the Jinx are massive. That inhibitor turret almost dead, the Nexus turret almost gone as well. Baron is timed out. Decent time for CLG to reset, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken so much. Everybody's sitting on decent amount.
2,500 gold for both carries.
That's decent.
That's decent, yeah. Like, the gold lead is just on the inventory, like, waiting to be spent for CLG's 2 carries. That is something you definitely want to spend to make sure you don't get caught out in the wrong spot.
All right, 6A solos up the Dragon. Team player here as well. Gonna finish up the Ocean Drake for themselves, and then the double clouds will allow them to get back down to bottom lane and push that one out very quickly.
One small thing to point out is Piglet is very, very close to finishing IE.
Okay.
His gold is almost right there. I think this will be the combined. You can see 1,500 in inventory. Demonte is not terribly far away either. So 2 big power spikes are coming soon for Clutch. They are still behind, but those spikes will matter.
All right, Clutch Gaming, time to hold on. Rally caps on backwards here. See if they can scrounge up some gold. Feed it to Demonte and Piglet with these minion waves coming inside. And maybe those completions. There we go. Infinity Edge actually completed. There were 2 now for Clutch Gaming. Will they get the big crits?
Decent chance. 75% for Piglet, 50% here for Demonte. Seems pretty reasonable. Of course, this Scion is nigh invincible. One thing to keep in mind with the crit item sort of re-update in 9.3 is it lost some of that tank killing power. That free true damage is gone, so Darshan is going to be hard to get rid of. No second flat pen item for Huni, I think, might be a mistake here when you're trying to kill Jinx off primarily, and this Kassadin has low MR as well. Optimal buy, I think, actually, for your target selection is Oblivion Orb, and he's missing it here. Either way, though, it's still winnable. It's just down a lot. 5,500 gold. Cloud Drakes actually do mean quite a bit in the middle of combat.
I think that Baron coming up in 15 seconds might draw them away. If they get repelled at this first team fight, then they might have to go for that. But right now, they're just waiting for PowerOfEvil to split push.
Yeah.
The teleport is available for this Kassadin, so you could easily join the fight or push the minions all the way up to the Nexus turrets.
Well, CLG, they are looking at mid still a little bit. Keep in mind, inhibs do respawn, and the mid lane one is only a minute away. Top lane only 2 minutes back.
It's got to be the Baron call then if they're pulling off.
I mean, for me, like, I'd be so afraid to go for Baron. I think the only way you lose is a botched Baron play, but they're going to try, and they have to control the map. So how can you botch it when you can see the entire team? And this is fairly safe. They can see him coming.
Go, Clutch, go!
Clutch are visible. They're spotted. They use the blue trinket, and CLG, you can see them kite away. They said, hey, if you miss the rotation, then we're here. If you don't, out we go. And Scion still pushing the bot lane with Demolish, so CLG have split the map. They had Baron bait the opposing team across, and then right back in they go. This macro is good. There is no downside. Clutch can't catch them.
Yeah, this one is looking like CLG got it in the bag. The old switcheroo right back onto Baron. Darshan also gets the inhibitor turret.
Yeah.
And all that's left is the final push.
There were no risks in this last minute and a half of CLG's play. There was no chance Baron could be stolen. No chance any of them could die. They have all but sealed this game, Kobe.
There's been such a focus, too, for people watching a lot of the CLG documentary series on shot calling for them. You know, they finally got their lineup set up. They want to have Biofrost start doing a lot of the primary vocal work once again, which they had him do last season when they had a lot of their wins. And this is what that kind of represents on stage. You know, some more decisive plays. It definitely helps that they have a huge upper hand right now, so the choices are way easier, but looks like it's going to come to fruition pretty quickly here.
One of the players keeps scaling up. They're waiting for that one last team fight. Of course, it's an uphill battle as Clutch Gaming are stuck inside their base, and there's 3 open inhibitors. Top one respawning in 20 seconds. Baron buff makes it easy as well. We're waiting for that one last team fight that seals the deal or marks the giant comeback. There's an extra 1,700 gold in bounties here. 1,100 over what you would earn from the kills themselves, so some extra
you can
room for growth. Oh, there's the shot. Top inhibs respawning, but the top Nexus turret is low as well. And more of the map is being seeded. Clutch Gaming cannot yet find their opening. Q's not going to land on Stixay. Inhibitor's dead yet again. More of this base getting pushed down.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any time for Clutch Gaming. They got to decide if they want to make their last stand and just all in. They're hoping for some opening, a misstep from Stixay or Biofrost.
Oh, they got the knockup though. Volk is going to drop at the very beginning. This one is the chain CC comes through, but Wiggly will drop it to 1-for-1. I'll trade Alistair for Jarvan. 4-on-4 though, Stixay feels pretty safe. The engage tools are dead, plus no Rumble Ultimate, so Counterlogic Gaming can be completely unafraid. And as the next wave comes in, Stixay can keep free firing. Minute and a half on Baron, likely to end the game during this buff. At what point does the last stand happen? They're missing Equalizer to equalize this game. They are running out of tools. They're running out of health. They're running out of
towers. There's only one
to
left.
run.
Last standing tower, here they go. Can they even stop the minions? Can a minion down. All right, success.
Okay.
Objective completed.
15 more seconds. Bot and CLG actually backing up a bit more, but these waves are reinforced heavily every single time. Back now through the mid lane.
So CLG, even though Alistar has respawned and it's a 5v4, I think sticking around at a safe distance. Oh my goodness, PoE.
Chunks onto Huni, forcing him back, but Equalizer is only 20 seconds away. They've got to buy that time for the next chance of the team fight. And here's the re-teleport. 10 seconds on Equalizer. They need to wait out this cooldown. Darshan coming forward, forcing the pack into Demonte.
Protect the tower.
Wave gets cleared, farm still being accrued. Looking at the next push. Equalizer back up in 5. That's when the trigger gets pulled as the waves keep pushing in. Buff stronger and stronger. Triple inhibitor death plus Baron buff for 30 seconds. CLG walks in.
It's gone.
There's the chunk out of the turret. Here comes the play over the top and a stopwatch used. Wiggly dives in, finds a knockup, runs away. Stixay is now out of mana, but he finds the turret kill and finds the free fire onto Huni. Stopwatch buys some time. Zonius buys more. Looking for the kill. The flash forward. They have not killed off Stixay. They get that first kill. They get the second. CLG pick up 3. They'll pick up 4. They'll pick up the win. And Counterlogic Gaming are tied for 3rd.
And CLG with their most dominating victory of the year. Absolutely crushed it here. PowerOfEvil got 2 early kills in that Dragon Pit on Kassadin. He cleaned up a ton of minion waves mid while the rest of CLG Gaming were roaming. He even got that turret play, and all of that funneled into a Kassadin for late game. He absolutely popped off 9-0 on that Kassadin, went full damage and kept on creating openings for the team with the Flash Rift Walk.
Really nice stuff. PoE ended that game 6,000 gold over his opponent. Next highest on anyone else was under 2K, so he really did do a lot of the heavy lifting there. CLG invested in 2 big carries in Stixay's Jinx and PoE's Kassadin, and both of them did deliver. CLG Gaming sadly now in that tie for last place, 2 and 5 alongside Optic and Golden Guardians. Not a spot they want to be in. There is still more to play. Clutch has FlyQuest tomorrow. CLG has Golden Guardians themselves. This could be a very good week for CLG.
Yeah, CLG have been looking extremely solid as of the last couple of weeks, stringing all these wins together.
Yeah.
Playing the late game a lot more controlled.
Yeah, I definitely bought the CLG stock, by the way, coming into week 3. I thought they had it. I did. CLG and
You're a rich man.
And Cloud9 were my stock purchases, and both of them having a pretty good set of weeks here. Either way, yeah, this is solid stuff. The fact that they got through that draft, though, like I wonder if their draft will still be criticized online for how weak the lanes did look, but they did pull it off. They played it well, so congrats to CLG. Now we're going to hand it over for an interview with CLG's Voidwalker.
Thanks, guys. PowerOfEvil, congratulations on that game. You look super dominant. What made that game so decisive for you guys?
I think we had a really good draft. Kassadin is in a lot of situations pretty bad, but they had double AP on both solo lanes, so Kassadin was perfect. They can never win the side lane, and I think I got the early kills as well, so it was just really easy. I was just consistently communicating we don't need to do anything on the 4-man, just avoid getting engaged on, and I think they did a really good job on that, and it was pretty easy.
I can hear Biofrost talking behind us, but we heard last week that he kind of stepped up as a shot caller for the team. So how do you think he's been doing so far?
I think Vincent is really smart, and he's helping us stay on track and stay on the objective. And I feel like everyone's helping out, and especially on game day, I think everyone is 100% focused. So we do a really good job on it as a team.
And you play against Golden Guardians tomorrow and Froggen in the mid lane. We saw him bring out the cart this last week, and we saw the Anivia today. What do you think you're going to play against tomorrow, and how do you think that matchup is going to go?
I think Froggen was really good. As a mid laner, I feel like never really falls behind, so it's definitely going to be a difficult matchup mid lane, but I'm confident that we can win.
Well, PoE, thank you, and congratulations again. And that's it for us here. Back to you guys at the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Whoa, camera. Hello. Well, thank you very much, Avali. As our gym just got stuck. That was incredible. CLG tied for 3rd at 4-3 after that victory there. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about this. The casters, Kobe and Freak, we're talking a little bit about maybe some criticism that might be thrown CLG's way.
I got criticism for you guys.
Quite possibly because of losing lanes. But we actually had a bit of a discussion about the lane strengths while watching the game. So, I'm going to hand it over to you. Let's talk about each of these lanes.
Right, so for top lane, obviously Sion's just going to get pushed in, right? And Rumble gets to roam. fine, whatever. But you look at mid, and Caston can actually win lane really hard in 1v1 setups. It really depends on what the enemy does. So I believe this game, Demonte, he just shoved in the entire time. But what you really want to do versus Caston is shove in the first 2 waves, make the tank creep wave bounce back to you. So when you're level 3-ish, his tank creep wave will be pushing towards you, and he's in a dangerous position now, and he's like in danger of getting ganked. So he didn't do that, so Caston had a safe lane phase. And then for bottom lane, when you have Tahm Kench versus another melee, no other melee support beats Tahm Kench. He just kind of licks you and eats you and beats you up, right? And then Jinx is really strong too. So like they have a winning lane bot, and their mid lane actually went really well. And Caston just kind of like counters Corki because like you throw like Q and it blocks Corki's magic attack, auto attack. So
yeah, it's the kind of thing where yes, your lanes don't necessarily win on the top half of the map, but they're so good pretty quickly into the enemy team's team comp. Like Caston at 6, you can go tabbies if you're even getting pressure and you start destroying Corki. And obviously the adaptive helm by Sion, super effective versus both. The Caston and passive alone, good versus 2 magic damage threats. So the weak laning phase that you might think like 3 losing lanes is kind of overstated in a
you don't
situation
kill them, I'll give you that, fine, but it's not like you're getting destroyed or rolled over, like pushed, like,
you might lose some turret plating early.
I mean, even after we saw the level 1 kill into the bot lane, you know, for the side of Clutch, CLG was still able to easily recover. They didn't blow their sums.
Intelligent.
Crucially understood that they were dead, didn't blow their summoners, and were able to kind of keep some of that pressure up. And so now I want to move from there, just as we've gotten that out of the way, move into the team fight phases and start looking at where CLG's comp really could excel because they're out of lane phase and they have some items.
Well, so in the cast, we heard this TP sucked, or it did. Freak thought it did. Kobe disagreed, so we wanted to chime in real quick. I don't think the TP was this bad. I thought the Rumble equalizer sucked. Because if he layered that on the path that they were all on.
Over the blast cone.
Right, you get 1 or 2 kills there, but he TP'd in, kind of threw it off at a weird angle, and then he died instantly. But as long as Rumble gets his ult off in a good place before he dies, you kind of contributed pretty well.
I think the way I see it is he TP'd in there to secure a dragon, right? The moment he TP'd, the enemy team backed off. So yes, he died for that. He'd probably die no matter what, unless he instantly flashed. So it's not that it's necessarily a bad TP. It's like, what could he else have TP'd to? Like, is he going to TP back to lane? So securing a dragon for your TP is pretty good, all things considered.
Right. In the old days, that would have been a canceled TP once you make the opposing team back off.
You can't cancel anymore.
The Drake. Can't do that anymore.
God.
You got to fully commit to taking that Drake with the TP. Alongside some fun lanes and whatnot that we've had throughout the day, we did have a Cassidon pick here out of PowerOfEvil. So just want to take a look at how this performed throughout the game.
And this was just a huge AoE combo where, honestly, this was a potential fight that maybe they can do. There's a lot of members getting low on CLG's side. It was a decent Rumble ult, but then they get hit by a 4-man Jarvan knockup, 4-man Sion knockup, 4-man Jinx traps, which actually do decent damage in AoE. And then here, flash or alt flash on Caston. You can actually flash the damage forward, something High and I learned.
We did not know that.
No, we did not.
We're learning from PowerOfEvil today. He does R flash, the damage travels with the R. I did not know that, and I've played Caston hundreds of games.
Yeah, pretty cool mastery over the champion there to make sure he maximizes his damage output while closing the distance. Racked up quite a bit of gold, quite a few kills, and helped kind of secure his team the victory. Did take them the triple inhib, double super waves with the Baron buff to finally end it. But overall, a solid win for CLG, and I think one of the things that it had just occurred to me as we were sitting down at the desk was the whole CLG in 3rd place now. It just kind of a weird phrase to be hearing only because of that 0-2 week that they kicked off the split with. And so what, in a sense, a miraculous kind of uptick for this team here moving into week 4.
Yeah, 3-1 on the second half, or not second half, the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And I think they look really good too. I know that they are somewhat crutching on the Darshan Sion pick. If you're going to lobby a criticism at them, the one game they lost was when they couldn't take that and they took the Ornn and got obliterated in the top lane.
Right.
So I'm still a little hesitant, but if the priority on Urgot and Sion is dropping with some of the nerfs that are coming in this patch and next patch, but they're still playable, then maybe that's actually really good for CLG.
I mean, all things considered, at the very least, they look like a playoffs team right now, right? And that's the goal of every single team, at least to get to playoffs. And they seem to be pretty good on that. They're gelling together. They're figuring out their roster. Week 1, they played Moon and
Fallen Bandit.
Yes, the other top laner, Fallen Bandit on his cannon. And now that they have like more stable roster. They seem to be picking up on their wins and playing better, you know?
Now, funnily enough, they're playing Golden Guardians tomorrow, and maybe a week or two ago, we would have been like, that's a surefire win. That's the one you expect to get. But also based on Golden Guardians' recent performance, and in particular, the champions that have been coming out in the mid lane for Froggen, makes that mid lane matchup quite interesting. Ovely asked PowerOfEvil about it. How do you guys feel about the Froggen PoE lane matchup?
They're pretty similar in some ways to me, where they play kind of their pocket picks. They have a different champ pool than a lot of other mid laners. They're also both not very proactive in the early game, I would say, and they focus on making sure that they are powerhouses in the mid to late game. So I think there's a fair amount of similarities. Both European.
Both European.
They're definitely going to be farming for a while and seeing who picks a better scaler.
Well, so then in that case, Hai, if both of those mid laners aren't necessarily the most proactive player out there and whatnot, which team do you necessarily favor around those two mid laners?
Well, I would say you look at CLG, right? They've been on an upturn, whereas Golden Guardians kind of is, but they kind of got booted down by Team Liquid, to be fair. But, it's going to be telling for the rest of the season between who wins out of those to see who can really climb up out of it, right? And we'll be able to see if Froggen's style that he's trying to do right now with picking his comfortable champions instead of meta will work out or not.
Without a doubt. As we close out the day, let's see how the teams stack up. Team Liquid top of the table, still undefeated. Cloud9 has sole possession of second place, while FlyQuest and CLG tie for third. But the league is still wide open, with the rest of the teams only separated by a single win. So let's go ahead and take a look at your predictions for the day and how those panned out quite well for you guys. Hai with the 5-0 day, moving to 23-12.
Kobe tried to hide his prediction for the last game. He tried to erase it.
Absolutely.
He predicted
spectacular score for Hai. Mark moving in to that positive win-loss ratio.
You asked me over-under reactions. I forget what the segment was. If I was worried, I said not a chance.
Not worried, not in the least.
Man, you're barely over 50 right now. I wouldn't celebrate that hard.
I'm
Take
doing
one bad day.
Celebrating.
One bad day. Tomorrow.
A 2-3 tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're coming for you.
No sweat on my brow.
Not sweating, not sweating.
Where's the stat spot at? Am I beating stat spot? I need to know.
Have I
That's
caught up?
a good question, actually.
I need
we
to
don't
know
what
this.
the over. I'm sure. What? No one beats StatSpot. Direct message from StatSpot
Oh my God.
themselves.
He's cheating, dude.
We return tomorrow with 5 more matchups, starting with Equifox versus 100 Thieves. Team Liquid versus TSM, that's in Game 3, followed by FlyQuest versus Clutch Gaming in Game 4. We've already talked a little bit about that CLG Golden Guardians matchup. How about that Team Liquid TSM matchup?
I mean, I would have been a lot more excited at the start of the season because I think TSM has been kind of underwhelming so far. Even in their victory today, it was very, very sloppy. They have a lot of things to improve on in the mid game in particular, which happens to be
where TL strong.
But that's something they realize, right? Literally their owner's like, hey, we are kind of lacking in the mid and late game, and we're learning that. And as they play more games and make all these calls, they learn more and more about which ones will work out or not. So maybe Team Liquid's not the team to try that out on. But,
right. I was going to say, maybe end of the season, this is a really hype matchup when they fix those mid-game problems. But right now, it feels pretty TL.
We do keep, 100% TL favored. But we do keep kind of talking about which is going to be maybe that team that punches hard enough in the first 10 or 15 minutes. And we did see, a Jace in the mid lane for Bjergsen. If TSM does decide to fully index into early game power and make enough early plays, sometimes gold leads are insurmountable.
They are. I just
you're like that is factually true, but also it's not going to happen.
You need to get enough of gold. Like how much gold do you need to be above Team Liquid?
Okay, that's a good question. What would you put that number at? In the first 20 minutes, how big a gold lead does TSM need to be like surefire victory? First 20 minutes.
Surefire.
Like surefire is no way.
5,000. 10,000. How do you even get 10,000?
Oh my goodness.
5,000 gold lead. I've seen tons of teams throw that.
We get all 15 turret plates across the map.
My money's on 5,000.
5,000.
What happened that
that's my money.
G2 versus Fnatic game? They need to be G2 in that game to beat Team Liquid.
The 20-minute game?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
you heard
disgusting.
it here. It's somewhere between 5 to 10,000. That's what my analysts, my experts say. If you're still amped to watch top-tier league competitions, stay right here to catch the rebroadcast of the LEC matches where Origin tries to give G2 Esports their first loss of the season. Now for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS. Good night.
Peace out.
No, we're not right now. Optic is technically 10 because they lost the game.
Ooh, okay, nice, guys.
And even if we lose, we have winning record against them. So at worst, after today, we're 9th.
He'll try to get himself away. He finds some damage. He is alive! He goes into stasis.
welcome to your Week 4 LCS Weather Report. Currently dominating the league, we have a high-pressure system where Team Liquid's going to continue to downpour on the rest of the field.
No flash. I'm going behind, guys. I'm going behind.
They're going to lose everything as they cannot get out. I do not know why this team hesitated.
Dude, I played so bad this game, but my score is good.
The knock on Huni, who flashes the wall, but guess what? Pee-wee does that every 2 seconds. Oh! Counter Logic Gaming in control. Pee-wee finds his third. Counter Logic Gaming are tied for third.
Power of Kassadin.
And right here's Azel. Same page. The hunt. Azel's going in, and Sneaky's on a killing spree. It's a triple for Sneaky. They might find even more. He needs another auto attack, and the Quadra is found.
Go, you go.
I'm going. Guys.
We can't do it. Oh, wait, did we even end now?
Yes, he's bringing out the ribbon.
Coming now. Just watch my position, okay?
How can Viper get out? Health bar's running down. Tries to get the damage. It's not enough.
AVF still. Look at Jarvan. Yo, Ash has
I can go, Jarvan. Done.
Jumps over the wall. Still being stunned up. Takes some damage. Once again, Viper shuts down 1,000 gold bounty. And now it's Santorin. Pop the stopwatch. A second kill now for the Riven. FlyQuest get the Riven counter pick. And they will knock down 100 Thieves.
We will smurf soon.
Broken Blade gets shut down. It's Arrow make the kill. Big goes in. He's able to find the hook. He's able to find the play. He's going to find the play. And with the turn.
Yes, it's okay.
I don't know.
Finish. Orb running in.
Go. Nice.
All these peasants thinking we are good.
Sonya.
Okay. Nice.
Sorry.
LMFAO!